So, hello everyone. Today I have a wonderful bottle of champagne with me, and it is called a champagne Jean Dumangin. And this was a bottle which I bought from my recent trip to Europe. And talking about its price point, I bought it at 85 euros from a chain of shops which is called as Grape District in Netherlands. And 85 euros in retail in Europe means that in India that is likely to cross 20,000 rupees. So very good champagne, expensive champagne from Indian point of view. And I'm going to open today. Today happens to be my anniversary, and we're going to savor this champagne. So quickly, let me today talk about what all is written on the label of the champagne. Firstly, coming to the name of the champagne, it says Champagne Jean Dumangin. So this indicates firstly the name of the champagne. It also indicates that this champagne has been made by Dumangin family. Now Dumangin family has been growing grapes since 16th century. And this house was established in late 18th century. So it's quite a historic champagne house. And then we come to the year which is mentioned on the label, 2017. And whenever a year is mentioned on the label of champagne, it indicates that it is a vintage champagne, and the year indicates the harvest year. Normally the year is not written in the normal champagnes or the non-vintage champagnes, but here when you find a year written on the label, it means that it comes from a harvest which was very bountiful in that year, and which produced high quality grapes which went into making this wonderful champagne. And next, just below, now this will be laterally inverted for you, so I'll just read it out. Just below the name of the champagne, you can find something written which is propriétaire récoltant. So proprietary récolta means that this estate is owned fully by the champagne house. Normally in big champagne houses, the maisons, they besides making champagne from grapes grown in their own estate, they also buy grapes from different other estates and different outside their ownership. But here's the champagne house, where all the grapes have been grown on vineyards owned by them. This is also called as grower champagne. And these are the generally smaller champagne producers. And the advantage is that since the scale is small and everything is owned by the champagne house, there is a lot of control over quality on each stage of champagne production. So next we come to the bottom of the label. It reads as Chigney Rose, and this indicates the village from where this champagne is coming from, where the winery is located. And this name is very typical. It implies that it is a village where you find beautiful roses. Very interestingly, this was once named as Chigney les Montagnes, but way back in 1902, the then president of France, he visited this village, and he was enchanted by the roses which grow in this village, and he changed the name of the village itself to Chigney Rose. So very interesting trivia over there. And lastly, in the front label is the word homage, which means homage in English, and this means that this wine champagne bottle is homage to something. And in this context, this is a homage to the gentleman called as Jean Dumangin, after which this champagne has been named. Now, Jean Dumangin was a member, the fourth generation member of Dumangin family, who unfortunately died after the 2017 harvest. Jean Dumangin had contributed a lot in towards the growth of the champagne house by means of transfer of his knowledge and know-how in making champagne, and he was also very fond of the grape which has gone into making the champagne, the Chardonnay. So the champagne house has dedicated this champagne to Jean Dumangin. Now quickly coming on to the reverse of the label. And so here again we have Champagne Jean Dumangin, the name of the champagne house. Then we have something, the word written as Brut. Brut, as we all know, if Brut is written on the wine bottle or a champagne bottle, it means it has very less residual sugar level, and it can be considered as a off dry or dry champagne. Then we have homage and 2017 I have already covered. Now Premier Cru. Now Premier Cru, whenever the word Premier Cru is written on the bottle, it obviously applies that it is a high quality Premier Cru champagne. And Premier Cru is in fact is a ranking. It means that this champagne ranks in the quality scale just below the Grand Cru champagnes, a high quality champagnes. And there are total of only 44 villages in Champagne region which are classified as Premier Cru. Just again a point to highlight, in Champagne area, villages, the whole village is classified as Grand Cru or Premier Cru, unlike in Burgundy where individual plots and vineyards are classified by that names. Now coming to the next thing which is written on the champagne bottle, it is Grand Montagne de Rons, and this is the area. It is one of the sub-regions of the Champagne region, one out of 5 sub-regions in the Champagne appellation. And this Grand Montagne de Reims is located between the city of Reims and Marne Valley, and it is again known to produce high quality champagnes. Now a very interesting thing, there is a sort of phrase or a proverb written. I'll read it out to you. It in French it reads as l'expression d'une passion par un cépage, and which in English, if you translate it, it means the expression of a passion through a grape variety. So that's what it means. And this grape variety, like I said earlier, is Chardonnay. This has been made with 100% Chardonnay, and this is highlighted by this expression. And lastly, this champagne has 12% of alcohol level, which is quite high for a white wine or for a champagne based on Chardonnay. And this also again highlights that it has been made with very ripe grapes, so it had a lot of sugar in the vintage year, and sugar, as we all know, gets converted into alcohol once the yeast is added. So like I said earlier, it is my anniversary day today. I'm going to enjoy this champagne along with my better half, and I'll catch you soon again, maybe with this bottle while I'm opening it. So cheers everyone, bye bye.